Do I think that there are people that are erring on the side of unfounded conspiracy theories and more of them together and with more certainty? Yes, definitely. Do I think there are also other people erring on the side of being comfortable with more authoritarianism, like the exact opposite side, that totally shouldn't be, that are actually under paranoid about what the true authorities are telling them and how they will handle things? Yeah, I totally think that both of those are happening nearly equally and equally concerningly. No, I'm actually more concerned by the second one, honestly. I think that there's a problem with people saying that they think that there isn't really a virus. They can absolutely fuck a pandemic up with that belief. But I think the other people who call for national security actions to solve this that leave authority states also creates a problem that could be worse than the virus. I think there's another reason that people are kind of having that increasing sense is that there are a lot of increasing authoritarian measures happening, which is legitimately concerning and should be for anyone who has paid attention to history. And I think a lot of people do have the awareness that even if something wasn't intended as a grand plot, that opportunism is a thing. And I don't think that most people think that Facebook and Google want everyone's data for their good, for everyone's good. Like they commercialize the fuck out of that data in ways that do not necessarily improve the lives of the people, and sometimes might, like, they're actually turning the people into a commodity. The other thing is that when you see developing nations respond better than the US, which has happened for a number of them, and when you see Vietnam respond better, right, and some Latin American countries and whatever, and you see how far ahead we knew this was a thing, and you see the intelligence briefings that were there and the lack of response, and you know what the logistical capabilities of the U.S. military and DoD that wouldn't even have to override anyone's freedom to just offer logistical support are, and you know how much damage is happening to the economy and how much cheaper it would have been to actually do upfront work, and the fact that there weren't tests, and that by the time we had got our first 100,000 tests out, Germany had been doing 500,000 a week for a long time with a tiny percentage of the population. There's so much of that a lot of people are like, is that just incompetence? Like, it's almost mind-blowing to imagine that that's just incompetence, given that we have so much actual fucking competence. Like, if there's anything the U.S. military is really good at, like, it's really good at logistics. And it doesn't have to be deployed in a way that overrides any civil liberties to simply be deployed to support stuff, to support supply chains and get PPE where it's supposed to go and shit. Why didn't that happen? Why didn't we get, and when you look at Germany and its testing, or you look at Hong Kong and the way it shut the borders down, or you look at the way South Korea rolled it out as a democracy, or you look at the way Iceland did, or you look at and so, and then when you also look at, well, why the fuck did Beijing not let anyone fly from Wuhan to the rest of China, but they did let them fly from Wuhan to the rest of the world, and a number of other very strange things about the flows of PPE and stuff like that. I think that people will jump to the wrong theory, but sometimes because of a right intuition. And the right intuition is there are some agents benefiting from this, and I don't feel good about it. And then rather than being able to sit with the uncertainty long enough to do the right kind of research. So, like, did Trump get this wrong for a long time in terms of saying, oh, there's no big deal, we got it handled, whatever? Yes, totally. Does that mean he's driving the whole thing for some agenda for himself super effectively, and it's really because he owns shares in the hydroxychloroquine company and that's why he said it? Well, I would say that that's not very good conspiracy investigation. The fact that he owns some shares in a financial services company. I think it's like a mutual fund or something that owns some shares in a company that produces hydroxychloroquine, which is a generic, which means that it doesn't have a patent on it. And lots of companies can produce it, and there's not much money to be made on it. Like you don't do really good conspiracies for like a few bucks. Um, you you have to do something better than that. So that's just like a follow the money trail, but not that money trail, right? That just doesn't look like a particularly good money trail. So actually, the main thing I want with conspiracy theorists is that they get better at it, that they get better at actually studying history and studying sociology, and being able to actually check facts and follow accounting records, and go read the doctrine of unrestricted warfare to have some sense of what PLA and CCP likely think.